about myths versus facts when it comes to transitioning from career to being at home. It's a transition that many of us desire to make, many of us had made, and yet there can be a lot of apprehension because of these ideas and these expectations that we feel are connected to coming home and being a stay-at-home mom. So we're going to dispel some more of them. If you missed part one, be sure to check out the link and get caught up. We're going to jump into part two today. And let me tell you, these are two very deceptive myths that once we clear them out, once you choose to see the truth, is going to be, I feel, extremely freeing. So let's dive in. So when it comes to this idea of coming from a working space, being a working mom, being a provider within your family, to recognizing that you have this desire and need to be available to your family in a different way, to being at home. There can easily be this thinking that if I'm moving from this space where I've dominated in the workplace, I mean, I have shown up, I have done it, I am the woman for the job. And I made sure it was really clear for the work that I did, that they knew that I was really solid. It can sometimes feel as if the skills, the ability, the expertise that you developed in that workspace goes to nothing when you're at home. That all these ways that you have learned to do your job amazingly well are now to the wayside. It can very easily feel that way. And there can even be this idea and this expectation that these are two completely separate realms, that what I do at work and what I do at home are completely severed. Here's the truth: you have always been, from the time that you had a small one that you were caring for, you have always been a mom. You have always been there. You've always been a part of your family unit. And because you are whole, the work that you do and the way that you've been gifted to show up in your workplace does not somehow cancel out when you're at home. If anything, it gives an additional point, additional areas, additional skills that you can use to enhance your home, that you can use to enhance your family and your relationships. Case in point, let's say for someone who is very involved and has developed skills with regards to developing projects, right? So project management, you could easily go, okay, I'm doing this at work. I use the systems. I know how to work all these various programs. How in the world am I able to use that at home? How does that skill translate over? Well, that's the cool thing. You get to choose and you get to look with a different set of lenses, if you will, a different perspective on how can I use this ability to manage projects and apply that in the home setting. So let's say it's figuring out how we're going to create projects for the kiddos, or if it's planning out a particular trip, whether it's a vacation or it's an exploration trip, if it's finding ways to connect with, let's say you're an excellent connector and communicator at your work, to then find ways to use that same connection and collaborative experience and skills at in the home. So how can I do that with the community? How can I connect with other moms or with other schools, with other entities where we're all desiring to move forward with this idea of supporting our children or supporting healthy families? Whatever it is that you have skill wise, it is part of your story for a reason. And there is a specific gifting that you have, a specific set of skills that you've developed that translate beautifully over into the home space. So whether you choose to stay in the workplace or not, if you choose to make that full transition to home, know that there's no need to feel like that's what I do in this one space and I do not use it. It's completely different when I'm at home. I promise there are ways to make that connection. Okay. Next is this idea that stay-at-home moms are natural homemakers. This can run in a couple different ways. It's almost like the idea of the stay-at-home mom is a bit of a black box, right? So there's this idea that somehow On the outside, everything is perfect and everything is connected. Beautiful, immaculate home, amazing, freshly made meals. Children are dressed in beautiful, coordinating pieces, all from Target, of course, or the favorite little indie boutique in the neighborhood or in the town. That somehow all these pieces are just beautifully put together. There's never any stress or struggle. Everything is just effortless. That is easily what it may seem like. Here's the truth. When it comes to being a homemaker, whether that's you naturally or not, that's a lot of pressure and expectation to put on someone who is currently, for example, in that stay at home mom role. To somehow think that they have it all together and they have no need. They're still human. Stay at home moms, still human. Okay. There's also the idea that going into that space, I now need to somehow adopt this perfection in order to show up as that high level or natural homemaker. Also, not true. You are given the ability to create your home and to make your home what you desire to make it. You get to choose what matters most to you. You get to choose what it is that you delegate, what it is that you emphasize, what it is that matters most to you. The way I like to think about homemaking, and if you've always been a homemaker, I'd love to hear you weigh in on this if you just happen to be catching this video, is that it is akin to a manager at a business, or even more apropos, it's akin to a CEO at a business, meaning it is the CEO's job within a business to help establish the culture of the business, to be the person who is serving in such a way that other areas and other entities are getting what it is that they need. That it's not somehow a one man or one woman show, that they recognize that the way that their company functions and flows best is when all the different pieces are put together and flowing together in what they're naturally gifted and good at. Okay, the same thing translates to at home. Becoming a homemaker is a skill. Just the same way that some people are naturally great at organizing, some people may be naturally great at homemaking, but that does not somehow negate your ability to be a stay-at-home mom or create a barrier to you being a great stay-at-home mom if somehow homemaking is not in your field. Okay, so it's all with this idea of don't feel like, okay, I need to somehow become someone else in order for me to be a good stay-at-home mom. That is such a lie. You can become the best version of yourself, always, hands down. I'm always about how is it that I can become a better version of myself? How can I improve by 1% every single day? Even if it's in one area, what is it that I can do to better Lydia? And so you can do the same thing for yourself too. What is it that you can do to better yourself? So instead of making this into a comparison game, which honestly, a lot of these myths are based on comparison, and there's a whole conversation we can have about unpacking the reason why those comparisons exist. But what's most important is that you have the ability to choose how you improve, how you grow, how you show up. Because no matter what path you take, know that you're going to be on that path for a reason, and there's such great things for you to learn along the way. With that being said, in the Super Moms Facebook group, which I always find really funny because I called it Super Moms, not from this state of, oh yeah, we're awesome. I mean, we are amazing. But it's the idea that these are women who are choosing to go, you know what? There's this expectation that I'm a superwoman. Done. Not interested. I'm choosing to release that and to recognize that me being a super human means that I am choosing to become the best version of myself as I can. And so we're releasing this idea of having everything just so and just perfect. And we're choosing to be the amazing, wonderful, vulnerable, exceptional women that we were designed to be. And part of what we're going to be doing in that group here very soon is a study of the book Atomic Habits. If you've heard of the book Atomic Habits, oh, that's right, I have it in my bookcase. If you've heard of the book Atomic Habits, it's phenomenal. It talks about different ways to actually go into that process of creating that 1% improvement every single day. And so if that is something that would be of great appeal to you, something that would be helpful to you, I invite you to comment habits in the section below, and I'll be sure to keep you on the loop for when that goes live. And with that, I'm looking at my time. I am well over. Know that you're amazing. I am so grateful for you choosing to serve and to show up the way that you do. Keep going. You got this. And I'll see you tomorrow.